Hello, it's Versus again, it's Canlander time. Kieran is joining us on commentary today. Hello, Kieran.
Hello, Nathan.
Remembered my name, you're doing better than James.
Yeah.
Uh, so today we have Ed playing against Grace. We've got Ed on Dimir Reanimator and Grace on Izzet Tempo. Kieran, do you want to intro Ed's deck?
Yep. So it's Dimir Reanimator. Um, Almost truly Dimir. There's a couple of off-color cards in here with Atraxa and Sarah's Emissary. Just big fatties you want to cheat into play. And that is achieved with all the reanimation spells printed ever that cost potentially less than 3 mana by the looks of it. And then our points list, it's uh, quite a lot here. So there's Demonic Tutor at 3, Vamp Tutor at 2, Intuition at 1, Treasure Cruise at 1, Imp Seal at 1, Mystical Tutor at 1, and Dig Through Time at 1. So looks like 5 tutors and then 2 giant delve spells. What Ed has gone with his point suite here. So what's Grace got going on then?
Grace is playing a pretty much standard Izzet Tempo list. She is playing as her points. She's going with Ancestral Recall and Mystical Tutor that goes to get Ancestral Recall if you want to. So just 9 points from Grace today. But the Izzet Tempo game is to stick a couple of early threats and then counter everything else and ride those threats to victory. It's tried and tested. It works.
Yep.
Let's see how she gets on.
Yeah, and there's a few Blood Moon effects in the deck as well, aren't there? Which I don't think will be that relevant in this deck, but I'm ready to be proven wrong.
What you mean in the matchup?
Yeah, so the matchup.
Yeah. Well, a bit of a spoiler.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not a spoiler about this match. Actually, it's not a spoiler at all. But I did play against Grace in this tournament. Uh, she did have Blood Moon and Magus of the Moon effects in hand, and unfortunately, in my mono black deck, I did not draw my swamps, and therefore had to rip out the Blood Moon and Magus effects from hand rather than the actual problematic threats, because I just would have lost to them. So if it
Okay.
if it is doable against mono black, it's doable against Dimir. Ooh, cool.
Yeah.
They're showing us a hand.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw Ed's, but it's got a spell piercing, which I think is going to be quite important in this matchup. Um, but unfortunately, that is going to be completely undone by the fact that Grace is going to Gataxian Probe here, see the spell pierce, and get to play around it for the rest of the game.
Nice.
Um,
So Ed is on Ledger Shredder, Collective Brutality, Spell Pierce, and Sarah's Emissary.
so Collective Brutality being great here, like gonna get 2 modes with that at least, because you're probably gonna discard that uncastable card in your hand.
We've got a turn 1 Wasteland.
We are gonna wasteland.
And Ed managed to
Mail that one to the top. Brilliant.
the Vista. Love it.
Okay.
I like it. We're dancing already.
Yeah. But this already seeing a swamp and a island. The moon effects are there. They're not great now, are they?
No,
So,
yeah. That's that. Yeah, you're right.
I've been burnt on a 2-man hand from getting wastelanded enough. Yeah, that's why I'll take that. That seems very fair.
I think the first few times that I watched Is It Tempo being played, I was astonished by how freely people were willing to just either bounce back their own land, their first land with the days, or sacrifice their first land, it just to keep opponent off doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I think that's just a thing about the format. It's part of the game plan early on.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're getting a Ledger Shredder down here. I don't think it's going to be long for this world. I think it's going to get strangled. But
Strangling
with,
birds, yeah.
Yeah, with the Izzet Tempo deck, the thing is, all you really need is one of the small threats,
Yeah.
and they start off small.
Yep.
And before you know it, that
You've-
young Pyromancer's made
You've either
4
got a
more
really
creatures.
wide board or you've got a ginormous creature. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and all their threats are really cheap, like Murktide Regent. It's a 2-mana spell, isn't it? Doesn't cost more than that.
Never.
I'd like to suspend
Yeah.
a profane tutor.
Oh, yeah, suspend a Profane Tutor.
Yeah, sure.
I do see the
I'll cast this off 10 turn.
young Pyromancer in hand, so I imagine Grace will be looking for this third land to deploy the young P and
I'm going to
start.
put this in the bin.
Start protecting it.
No, that's not how that works.
That's not how Opt works.
Yeah. Consider Scry.
I will reveal this.
Pretty much the same thing.
Very kind, it's very kind. Thank you.
It's a Mystical Archive one. We can't read that. Luckily, we've got the translation in the bottom left.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they don't get to see that.
This is interesting now because we do have a brainstorm in hand, so we could do the perfect brainstorm, or
Sega.
okay, we are going to deploy a third path Ironclast and probably go for brainstorm end of turn.
Yeah, this definitely counts as one of those creatures that are a problem. I mean, it's basically a young Pyromancer, right?
This card to escalate. I would like to try and look at your hand and choose -2/-2.
So yeah, this is the collective brutality coming in quite clutch here. Now this brainstorm's quite cool because we can hide the targets.
I'm going to go get a.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, that's true. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, go get a counter.
So
Highly illegal. I'm going to go get a totally illegal.
we'll see if that's the case, or if we just draw too many instants and sorcerers.
I always feel a little bit funny escalating a collective brutality into blue,
There is a totally legit volcanic island in here somewhere.
but
Just for the chance of being blown out,
yeah,
countered.
but like the blowout doesn't hurt as much in Canlander as it does in Limited. I know I'm learning,
Yeah.
but it's slow.
So with this, Ed's discarded a card he didn't actually want in his hand anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to serve far more purpose being in the bin.
Yes.
And if this does get countered, we've still got rid of a counter spell, which can't be aimed at our actual reanimator spells, the ones we care about.
Yeah. That's fair.
Right.
I believe this
Um,
would be the thing that you could take.
Recall is definitely a spell that would be taken here.
What it's essentially saying is draw 2 and put one in the bin, right?
Interesting though that if you said that brainstorm is in hand, right?
No, so
Yeah, so I think I'd have opted for the brainstorm line to try and hide the recall.
Yeah, took the recall.
no. And then it resolves, so this dies.
Yeah.
So we are going to see what was got.
A brainstorm.
So there is that brainstorm.
A fire ice.
Yeah, I don't think Fire and Ice was in the
A
hand.
million clique and a braid and an archmage's charm.
Well, sadly, I can't get any of your creatures, otherwise that young Pyro would probably be gone.
Okay. So maybe there were just too many spells, so you just cast the best one. But I don't know. I think I just like having the control over what my opponent sees and just being able to untap,
2 minutes.
play the Ancestral Recall anyway.
Oh, pay 3.
Yeah.
Any spell pay 3 or?
Any spell pay 3.
I'd like to go with the Archmage.
Yeah,
Charm,
seems
if
legit,
possible.
frankly.
Yeah.
That's a really nice hand though for an Izzet Tempo.
Yeah, we've got a 1/1 in play.
One.
We're going to probably follow it up with a young Pyromancer.
Oh, okay.
But
What's Ed going to get with Profane Tutor, considering the knowledge then?
reanimate.
It's just you don't care. You just reanimate your Sarah's Emissary or
So there is he's got, like I say, he's got a spell pierce in hand. So he's got enough to counter one spell. We only saw one counter spell there, I think, which was the mana leak.
Go down in
Oh, so it
upkeep.
does. Yeah. It does, yeah.
So,
And
Trigger.
upkeep. Trigger.
yeah, go search.
Yeah.
Do I almost want the card on top?
Yeah, I think if we've still got Grace only on one counter spell, we could actually fight over that with our hand currently.
This is just a mana leak.
That'd be really useful.
Yeah, just a mana leak. Unless my memory is terrible. But what we could
What
see
does
here from
Vendilion
Grace,
Cleat?
yeah, I was going to say what we could see here from Grace is we search for a card, and in draw step we draw another card, and Grace goes Vendilion Click. I want to see what you searched for.
Yep.
Because Grace does have information on Ed's hand. I don't know if we know all the cards in Ed's hand anymore, but we did get Probit on turn 1, and there's not been that many spells cast.
True.
Mana leak's 2 mana, isn't it?
3.
3 mana.
Oh, to cast it's 2.
Costs 2 to cast, but you have to pay 3 extra
Yeah.
for your spell to resolve.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you say,
Very
you expect
intriguing.
that it's just going to be a clique after draw to try to
Yes.
disrupt whatever's about to happen. Which, as you say,
Yeah.
may well just be Reanimator. It's just, so like, do you change what you're going to search for based on the fact that that's a very possible line?
Shuffle, draw.
No, I don't think so. I think this clique's gonna happen. I suppose it depends what else we've got in hand.
Yeah, I mean, if we've got 2 reanimation type, like spells in hand, then who cares? But
Yeah, like we've been stuck on 2 lands for a while now. We might just need to get the 3rd land to unlock the rest of our hand.
Close enough.
Um,
Draw.
Draw.
so Grace letting him draw.
I'll flash in this Vendilion Clique.
So here comes the clique. So I'm guessing it wasn't the Grizzlebrand. Is that reanimate there? I can't tell. It's a wall of text.
This is
Is it
a
animate
large
dead?
series of unfortunate events.
uh,
I will take this
Necromancy.
and put it on to the bottom of your library and you draw a card.
Right.
And is that
No.
a tutor on the
no,
end
sorry,
with
yeah,
Grizzlebrand? What's the one
Yeah,
mana
that's
spell?
that's good old Imperial Tutor.
Yep.
I think I might.
So that's Tutor. Put it on the top. It costs 2 life.
On top.
Okay.
Top, doesn't it? Yeah.
But it's a sorcery, that one, right?
You're very rude.
Yeah.
Do try.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I like it. It doesn't half shut down what Ed's trying to do. Oh, nice redraw. But again, like hand's so stacked, what you pick it.
Fire Ice, Abrade, Young
So
Pyromancer,
I don't think the hand is
Is
that
it just
stacked.
Young Pyromancer and then the hand is kind of turned off?
I am going to get rid of the young pyro.
Yeah, so now I don't even mind leaving the Young Pyro there. Like, you've got Emissary and Bin.
Imperial seal, sorcery speed.
If you manage to cheat that one out, you just name creature or instant, and then you've got a giant blocker.
Reanimation spell.
No idea what you're talking about. You go play your own deck.
Can't really be interacted with. Like, it was take a lot of, like, I think I'm on take. I suppose we've got the spell pierce for the mana leak though. So yeah, maybe it is just Young Pyromancer.
I think it's Young
just-
Pyromancer to just keep them off threats.
Yeah, you're only attacking me for 4 damage a turn. That's going to give me enough time to cheat one of my cards into play.
So I have to assume that this is just another reanimation.
Yeah.
Oh no. 'Cause
The question is which one, because one of them costs life. So you don't really want to pay too much life, I assume.
Well, we could.
Oh, the one that gets you damaged. Yeah.
Oh, that's what they're discussing. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, do we get the cheap one?
Yeah, you definitely are in the danger zone.
Yeah. So I can't really afford to get a reanimate to try and go for a Sarah's emissary.
Interesting. I think
think you
they're
can,
not
right?
animate dead. There is a shallow grave now.
Takes.
Okay, no, we can't get shallow grave because the Legislator is above it in the graveyard.
In the danger
Okay.
zone, you either need to. You probably need to name creature.
Yeah.
Because I can afford.
We
to
could
say
still go grab Animate Dead. Animate Dead doesn't cost us life, it costs 2 mana.
Yeah. And then you can keep the 1 mana open for your
For that spell pierce.
spell
Yeah.
pierce, which addresses the mana leak.
So I think that's where I'd be on. I'd be on Animate Dead here.
It comes in untapped. 'Cause I-
Is Animate Dead the one that reduces the card's power? Is it that one?
Yeah, it reduces its power by 1.
Yeah.
Really hoping you might get a
But
place land.
reducing its power by 1 when it's a giant 6/6 flyer.
Yeah, who cares?
Oh, 7/7 flyer, right? Even.
Spell pierce.
It does, yeah. This is always the problem with spell pierce, and it's like I always go back and forth from whether I.
Yeah, now we have the mana to pay the spell pierce, so
Persist.
It's persist.
Spell pierce. Yeah. Try and make you
yeah.
have it.
So persist is
Or you use it, even.
bring it back and put -1/-1 counter on it.
Lucky and just randomly draw the perfect thing next turn that a mana leak would mess me over for.
So there's nothing that we could do.
Go to combat.
Yeah.
No, not given that
You-
Grace drew the land.
And I guess you just have to pull the trigger.
It was not a Manamorphose fanatic.
No.
I will happily concede that.
Okay,
So
Okay.
I'm not going to get. I'm not
Ed's
gonna
done.
Just got Grace
Ed's-
I'm
banned.
not going to get one card that puts Brand in the bin and reanimates it.
Yeah.
If I was hoping that
So if you did, if Ed had decided to take the mana leak then instead of the young pyromancer, is that a route through?
Oh no, well,
Potentially, I think that's one of the things. When we leave the mana leak in hand, there was the option of Grace always drawing the land and then being able to pay for spell pierce. If we take that, it means Grace has to look for a second counter spell, so she has to be more proactive in the situation.
Got ya.
It means she might be tempted into actually playing the young pyromancer out, using the brainstorm to search for a counter spell. Now she's only got 1 mana available, and you're able to cheat in your 6/6 flyer.
I also wanted to name instant for protection from gamma spells.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is not how that.
Is that not how that works? Do I have hexproof? Oh no, so I have protection, not hexproof.
Yeah, it's a real interesting dance of.
Right.
I mean, obviously now that I play this format, I'm trying to figure out how I play against these decks. I did play against Grace in this tournament, as I mentioned, but I haven't played against Ed yet.
Learn your lesson, Ed, don't do it.
So it's just a case of me trying to disrupt the plan. The issue is I can't hand disrupt. Ooh, what have we got?
Draw a land, get a
That's too risky.
Okay, it was all.
It's just
Oh.
not a keep, but would have got there.
Yeah, I think that's the issue with Reanimator, isn't it? You can draw all of A, all of B, and just be sat there playing a very weird game.
Yeah, I went down to 6 last time.
And that's what to finish my point. My hand disruption would have to be targeting the reanimation spells.
Yeah, the reanimation spells are the tutors. Like if Ed's got Sarah's Embassy, Archon of Cruelty, Grizzled Brand stuck in hand,
Yep.
you've got 6, 7, 8 turns to actually get him dead with your 2/1s, so should be plenty of time.
Delver of Secrets.
Right,
I just got there.
How aggressively? This is definitely a format specific question, but how aggressively do you mulligan
You put a card down, sorry.
against specific matchups?
Do I mulligan?
Yeah.
I very rarely agree.
I'm more thinking in your control decks.
So the only deck I'm probably aggressively mulliganing against would be mono red.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
And that's only if I draw a hand that has no interaction.
Show my hand.
Is that interaction with onboard stuff rather than just?
Yeah, like I'm not looking for a hand of counter spells. I'm looking for a hand that has maybe a 2-drop creature and a lightning bolt, just so I can lightning bolt the first creature, play down like a Ledger Shred, a 1/3, and kind of hope that gets me there. I think we just saw Grace's hand again, and there was the Ancestral Recall again, showing why the card is pointed so highly because it always starts in your opening hand, right? So,
Is that why it's that many points? I was wondering.
yeah, it's got Companion.
Okay.
Starts in your opening hand.
Chrome Muck's on one's pretty good.
Yeah. So we starting off quite strong here.
Need to be thrown at my head. It's my bad.
Let's see what Ed's follow-up is, if he's got anything to go along with this, because this is quite a scary start.
So technically I can turn one off one land.
I could just cycle a troll and reanimate it straight away, put a 6/5 into play. What other 1-mana counter spell? We could Fort Seize ourselves. That would be quite an impressive line.
You can do that?
Yes, you can force it. Force is target player reveals his or her hand. You choose an online card from it. That player discards that card.
I love the idea of just being like, here's a Thoughtseize. Hey Grace, check out my hand. Oh, one of
Yeah.
them's gone. What a shame. Oh, it's back again.
Collective brutality just to
Oof,
Ooh,
this is
that's-
beautiful.
Just to look at my hand.
yeah.
So that's really interesting because that's a really good card. So I have this wasteland,
Oh yeah, yeah.
this islands, this of our islands,
Yeah.
and then I have a series of spells. So I have this mystical tutor.
Yeah.
I have this miscalculation,
Yeah.
which is miscalculation, which is counter unless you pay 2.
Yeah.
It's pure day.
I think it's also got cycling as well. Cycling too.
Can,
Yeah, I
Right.
think I'd take that one as well.
Both of our pointed cards are in hand.
Target. Okay.
Yeah.
and I kept more land because I expected a wasteland. yeah, that's nice.
Oh
It's
dear.
not necessarily the correct land, but I did keep a land.
Island to go.
We're not going off the old wasteland start this time.
Swamp.
Yeah.
Psychic rock.
Ooh, that's a nice start.
Rock, yeah. So you can
Yeah.
discard a card to give it +1/+1, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Exile.
This card is scary.
It's not as scary when there's only one card left in hand.
End of your turn.
No, I suppose not.
Yeah.
Find yourself
But if there's a card that can be like ridden to victory, it's this one.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah.
I think less so in Canlander. There's enough. Just destroy target creature.
Just get rid of it.
It still feels amazing to connect with it once.
That's fair.
Just get to draw a card. Like any card that says deal damage, draw a card is sweet.
Yep. We like that draw a card text that some cards have written on them.
Yeah, I think all Magic cards should at least say it.
Just every magic
Play a
card
land, draw
when
a
you
card.
cast it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if I've got
Ancestral Recall wouldn't be as good.
No, that would just draw you 4 cards instead.
Yep. I'm not sure that's good enough for 1 mana if every other card says draw a card on it when you play it.
It's true. Lightning Bolt, deal 3 damage, draw a card's pretty sweet, isn't it?
Yeah. We've just
right.
fixed Ancestral Recall, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that we went for a forcible there. That tells me that Grace has an answer to this Psychic Frog already.
Get in the bin. Get in the back of the van.
And we'll just be holding up a Force of Will for the rest of the game, which is going to make Ed's life
That's fair.
absolutely miserable.
blue.
Yeah, that was in fact when I said I kept the extra land and I went, but I haven't actually
Let's.
done the correct thing.
Okay, looks like the frog survived.
Frog is alive.
Swing with the frog.
Before damage.
I would like to pitch.
It doesn't look like Ed has a land in hand.
Stitch together.
Specifically,
Yeah, sure. So I take 2.
Ed does not have
And I draw a card.
Yeah.
blue
Damage.
mana.
Yeah.
Attack it,
He
let's go.
does have a life and death in hand though, which is, as you guess, another reanimator spell. It is partly green, so it's another card that is
I would like
not in his colours.
persist in the bin.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We're gonna save it.
It's life and death. In the bin.
Okay, we are riding this frog to victory. I think I'd have just let this happen and then probably brought the frog back.
These are options that you can take.
But what? But why? Because then this frog's smaller.
That's true. It also can't attack this turn.
I'd like to discard
And you,
an Archon of Cruelty.
Oh God.
okay.
All right, frog. Let's go
Combat damage.
all the way.
At some point, I'll draw another reanimate spell for this Archon of Cruelty. Now, I've just pitched 3 in a row.
Yeah, we have pitch 3 reanimate spells.
I'll pass the turn. Yeah,
I don't know if any spell is resolving with that Force of Will.
Islands.
We just
Maybe it
gotta
was
hope
correct,
that.
actually.
Yeah, I think it is right to keep it on.
Yeah,
I think.
knowing that the Force Will's there, you just don't want to be casting a spell for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Grace is now going to be digging for some kind of bounce spell, right?
Yeah, well, we do have
I would like to move to combat.
a few options here,
God, no,
That's right, swing for 5.
because we do have a Spell Seeker.
Before damage. Getting rid of this daze, which I can't cast.
Sure.
And there was
Yeah,
also
so I take 6, I go to 7. In response to the trigger, I will
spell.
flash in this fairy mastermind.
Yeah, so Fairy Mastermind is going to help.
Yay, we get to draw as well.
So you draw. I
Yeah.
draw.
Nice. Excellent. I will pass the turn.
The fact that Ed's still got cards in hand is,
Golding time.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
Frog's crazy good.
Yeah.
And like I say, against blue and red, if that flame slash isn't going to get it, it's now out of range of actual damage-based removal.
Yeah.
All in on the
There is a spell seeker
They
there.
are all in on
Now
the
that is
Spellseeker.
1 point, I'm fairly sure. So it looks like we were wrong at the start.
Okay.
There is another pointed card,
Yep.
Yeah, so
Um,
need.
but we do cast that. We get search up a card that's you can't get Fire Ice. That's 4 TMC. So this is best
Unsummon.
chance.
So, a bit of a
We have got 2 chump blockers though now, so we're in a good spot.
I do, you're not wrong.
So it's at least a 3-turn top.
I'm really intrigued as to what the 2 cards Ed's kept. One was obviously drawn off the frog, so he didn't need to discard it, but he did purposely. Oh, we get to see Lumsdale's Vault, and
Does that work?
is that start the TARDIS?
Oh, this is such a circuitous route.
I think it was start the TARDIS off the
That's
brief
just a
artwork I saw.
cantrip, right?
Circuitous route.
Yeah, Surveil 2, then draw, then you may Planeswalk, which is very relevant in Canlander. It also has Jump Start.
Blue instant or interrupt, so blue instant. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing the whole, I'm going to upgrade my tutor into a real card, the slow way here.
Tutor for a tutor, which suggests that Grace's bounce spell is 3 mana. What have we got?
I've got to imagine it's going to be something like Cryptic Command. Something like that.
Yep.
Which means it's going to be another turn at least if it is Cryptic Command, because that's 4 mana.
I am a very grumpy human being. Say go.
Okay, we are just on blocking duty. Will we ever draw this blue source for Ed?
What's the land that's a bounce spell?
3 marsh flats underground sleep.
Otawara?
Sure.
No, the land that's an actual bounce spell on the front.
Sink into Stupper. We saw that actually, didn't we? So we know that's in the deck.
Sink and Astuba. Yeah,
Yes.
that might be
Oh, I'm bad at what I do.
an option.
I am really bad. I'm gonna go to 6.
Grace isn't happy. She's suggesting that she's made mistakes. Unfortunately, we aren't in a red, so I don't know what mistake. Ah, okay.
Trigger, put Mystical Tutor back on top.
Yeah. Okay. That's the thing.
It is a thing, yes.
We get a mystical tutor for another card? Question mark.
We've done a lot of tutoring and not cast
We're
any of
sculpting the
spells.
perfect hand.
Okay, all right. We haven't got much more time to sculpt such hand.
Actually doesn't work.
No.
I'll do it anyway. It's fine. That goes on top.
Yep. Untap.
Untap. Draw.
What have we got, Grace? Show us.
We got. Is that Malcolm? We got another flying blocker.
No, that still doesn't work. I am good at this game. Go.
Untap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So there's no bounce spell there. What did
No,
we
it looks like we're gonna flash Malcolm, block, and then we're gonna
Mystical tutor from the top.
mystical tutor from the top. Go get sink into Stupper.
And stitch together to give it flying.
Sure.
I would like to move to combat.
Yeah.
Opportunity for 6.
This frog is eating well.
Oh, go to blocks.
Yeah.
Block. That's fair. Malcolm dies.
Yeah. Can you not?
Yeah, that's a swole frog.
Pass the turn.
I will cast this Mystical Tutor and end your turn. Well.
Does it get you there in the end? Are we?
Yes,
are
we
feeling
finally
it?
managed to find our way out.
Okay, yeah, so I think this is just a turn later than it needed to be, right?
I'll get this
Yeah.
stupid.
Okay, it's sink into Stupor.
Yeah. Fair.
I believe in you.
I mean, I can't stop it.
It's so funny. Ed's been stuck on one swamp
I could,
the
yeah,
whole time and has just been getting there.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I can't stop it.
I think this shows the power of the frog.
I could
Very,
Yeah,
have
for
very
sure.
good.
What's the free one called that I can't remember the name of, therefore don't have it in hand? There's no, the free one that loses you the game.
Pact of Negation.
Don't pay the upkeep cost.
Oh, Pact of Negation.
That's the one. I could have a pact negation in hand. I bluffed it really well.
I'm going to do this now.
Yeah. At what point, you know when you say to your opponent, yeah, or I don't have any counter spells, while they're deciding what to cast.
Simple one.
If you then just slam them with a counter spell, to what
just
extent is that not
gamemanship, isn't
not
it?
okay?
So I can get
Did we fall?
Oh, God.
Oh, we got troll.
We got
Oh,
a
we
troll.
did it.
Yeah, frankly.
I think it is Watergrave, isn't it? Because we've already got the Underground Sea.
I want to do right now. So I will find a watery grave.
Yeah.
This is
Cool.
brilliant as well because this is going to force the frog to get countered, and it's going to be, unless there's another blue card in hand, we're going to have to exile that merchant scroll, and it's going to be a 1/1 and a random card versus Ed's hand of blue spells, which he can finally cast
Slowly.
one at a time. Oh no, there is another card. There's the miscalculation that we know about. So miscalculation, force of will.
So miscalculation makes Ed pay an extra 2.
Yeah, costs 2 mana though, so we can't see that one this turn. So I think that will. I think this is just going to be a frog into force of will play.
That and
Yeah.
2 life.
And 16.
And then
Difficult choice.
I would like to force a will that pitching this miscalculation.
Okay, miscalculation's gone.
yeah,
I am on 5 though.
I'm on 5. Do, 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 do.
I imagine we've importantly kept cards like Archon of Cruelty in the bin when exiling our grave. So any Reanimator spell is looking pretty decent at this
Yep.
point. Like Ed's gonna have pretty much perfect information as well because Merchant Scroll searches for a blue interrupt. I'm gonna call it.
Or an instant.
Yep.
Instant or interrupt is what it said, right?
Yeah. Sadly, interrupts no longer exist in the game.
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah.
What was the difference? Was there a like an actual difference
think-
between instants and interrupts?
I
is it just
can't
that-
say for certain, but
Is
I
it just
think
that counter
interrupts-
spells were the interrupt spells?
Yeah, so I think interrupts were cast as counter magic.
It's interrupting the casting of spells.
Yes.
Interesting.
bit
I'll
like
have to look
how-
that one up.
The original Dark Ritual wasn't an instance, it was actually a mana source.
Right. Okay.
I'm going to get this counter spell.
Okay, we're just getting the counter spell, we're
I don't know
just...
whether it's right or not.
I think that's right. I think we're scared. I'm definitely scared for Grace. We know there's a Limsdall's Vault in hand, which can go and grab anything from Ed's deck as long as he's willing to pay the life for it.
Spire button now, so go.
I should
Okay.
attack. End of upkeep the 4 draw.
Yeah.
I would like to.
Or drawing. What are we doing?
So this is Limsdall's Vault. So we get to rearrange, like,
Oh, I see.
it's
Yeah.
a very long-worded card to say I'm going to rearrange the top cards of my library.
There's a very long-winded way of saying no.
Yeah.
I will.
So interrupts could be played at any time, but players could only respond to interrupts with other interrupts, and could not use instants or activate abilities to interrupt other interrupts. So it's kind of like a speed differentiation, right?
Yeah, a bit like Split Second is today.
That's it.
Careful study.
Yeah, sure.
That's a good one. Draw 2, discard 1. Oh, discard 2.
Discard this gristlebrand.
Faithless looting.
Frick me.
Without the flashback. Print this in modern, you cowards.
And this. Playground card. Okay.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's not as good as Faithless looting, so
Yeah, give Dredge something to play with.
Essentially, surveil 2 and then draw a card.
Start
where
the
was
TARDIS.
it? Was a start the TARDIS. Let's land.
This Urborg.
That's an
You don't
Urborg.
want to give me swaps.
I'm fine with it. I will draw a card.
And
And I didn't actually see what that other one was that we'd drawn.
I'm scrolling through the deck list. It was some full art card from somewhere.
Quick, find it.
I, I don't know. We draw, attack, pass. This is a Thoughtseize effect.
I'd like to bone shards, discarding this preordain.
Yeah, sure.
Interesting. I don't know how much you actually care about that, Spellseeker.
Oh, I'm a idiot. Do you mind if I don't?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
sure,
we're
it's fine.
undoing.
Good. I disagree with that play completely.
Don't like that.
I'm just an idiot. I would like to exhume, where we each put a creature.
I thought it was
from our
exhume.
graveyard into play.
Right. Okay.
Just a creature. Yeah.
Okay, so we're exhuming. Yeah, I mean this makes a lot more sense because you just get rid of whatever comes down.
Yes. Also, you don't want to put Spellseeker. You know, the card that's got the pointed card with an ETB ability.
Yeah, sure.
What, you don't want to put that in the bin for it to come back again? No?
Definitely not.
Alright.
Oh, we're doing the old face down tactic.
Actually,
It happens simultaneously.
no, I've already decided. I am bad at this game. Cool. So I sack
Oh, God.
something, I lose free life,
Ah, so, okay, so that deals with
cards,
Draw a card.
Yeah.
and then I draw a card.
both.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
And now we can bone shards the
draw a card, I draw a card.
Yep.
Il Mastermind.
And then you lose 3 life. And I gain 3 life.
Okay, well that makes sense.
I played
Interesting that that wasn't a young pyromancer
bone shards.
followed up by a spell,
This mana cost.
but I suppose.
Don't know if we had the spell.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It looked like Grace had lightning bolt in hand, but
Could have drawn that
doesn't
off.
really help.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Sorry,
Go on, try and read that card.
6/6. Sorry, its power toughness is right there.
Yeah,
It's a real good point.
right at
So what
the
I've
side
done
of the
is-
card for some reason. Yeah, where you
So
expect
what I
it to
should
be.
have done is, if my brain was even half working,
It looks like Archon of Cruelty 66, but
Yes.
Spellseeker.
To then
And
reanimate
Again,
it
reanimating.
just
I don't
enters
actually
or
anything that I can
attacks.
go get.
Incredible.
Reanimation.
well, Ed managed to get there
Mine was I missed
on
it, I thought I had a
a
persistent,
swamp
not exhumed,
and a
so it's like,
dream.
oh, I'm getting something back.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm going to put a lot more
We've got 11
on the
minutes.
frog getting there than the
No.
swamp getting there.
no, it was all about the swamp.
Yes, please.
I think without that frog,
Can you choose not
I don't want to give any
I thought I'd give it a go.
any credit to any blue cards. All right,
okay.
Right.
it was all about the collective brutality and the
I mean,
swamp.
Yeah, collective brutality at the start was very good.
I tell you what, the Chrome Mox certainly helped early too.
Yeah.
it was a lot. It certainly felt like more.
Right, we're going to game 3.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It is an interesting matchup because once the reanimation happens, Grace is going to struggle to deal with it, right?
We'll keep
Yeah.
Rad. Go look, have fun. What if Hell's crack it? Go
Especially
find
like as long as it's not a trench gorger. Trench gorger, Grace kind of laughs at. It's just a big fatty.
No,
Yeah,
it needs
I
to
suppose
fly,
that's-
right?
I mean, the trench gorger does have trample, so maybe a big fatty is just good enough.
Yeah.
But looking at the rest of them, there's Atraxa, Archon, Volgavoth, Grizzlebrand, Serra's Emissary.
You're just going to choose one of those. You don't care that there are lands left in your deck.
Yeah.
That is the Trench Gorger, right?
Yeah. Exile all the lands.
Yep.
So we're starting things off. Fetch, Folk Island, DRC.
and flying and has
Notorious.
And I think Ed's just played a Drowned Catacombs tapped.
Go to combat. Island, say go.
I think we are struggling a little bit for time on the round as well. We must be approaching
Oh no. Okay.
5 to 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna. I guess it's gonna be a race. So
Turn off flashing Malcolm the scoundrel.
I think the players
Okay.
mentioned it at the beginning of, or at the beginning of this or the end of the previous game that we're running out.
yeah.
Draw a card, then discard a
So
card if there are 4
given
more
that
chorus
fact,
counters
this is
on
a
our
very
decklist.
aggressive start from Grace, which is definitely where I want to be.
Yep.
Untap.
Um,
Okay.
potentially 5 points of power on the board if we can somehow cheat Delirium out this
Play this Blood Moon.
turn.
Ooh, Blood Moon.
Okay.
Need an island off the top.
That's a problem.
It's fine. We've got Profane Shooter in 2
Eventually,
turns.
yeah.
Go to combat.
We're not
Right.
getting.
Swing.
How many chorus counters have you seen on a Malcolm before?
Then discard a card. I'll discard the.
I've done the whole thing. It surprisingly gets there.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen it get more than 2,
Not me. It's not.
Yeah.
but
Have all this red mana,
as you know,
that's great.
I've not played much constructed Magic.
About that.
I mean, I did it in limited. I just played it and flew over the top every turn.
Well, fair enough.
Do I need black this game?
Do I need black? Quick scroll through your deck. Let's go down to the bottom.
Oh, sorry. There's a.
56% of your cards are black, so maybe.
Untap.
Importantly, though, there are 0 red cards in
Okay.
Ed's deck.
Ah, deck building mistake there.
I'll play the Sprite Dragon.
Yeah.
Even mono black decks should play red.
I'll go to combat. Swing. No. Draw discard. It's only when I cast a non-creature.
Right.
So deal 4.
Yeah, these are some of the best cards to be getting early to
Yeah.
then protect. I mean, we needed a quick game.
I'll discard.
Grace is
Oh,
doing
no,
a
we
bit.
can't do that.
Oh no. Say go.
Flame of an Ore, interesting there. I'm guessing Malcolm's not a wizard.
On the cast
Probably
trigger,
some sort of advisor.
I'll stifle it.
It's a
Island off the
It
top.
remains
Pirate.
in exile. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to stifle the
I'm actually gonna.
I can't remember the name of the ability trigger. So yeah, it's going to stay in exile.
Have delirium. Oh yes, thank you. Yeah. Now
Going to make Sprite Dragon bigger. 1 type of
Oh.
delirium. Oh, there's the swamp.
that's
wanted,
what we were
right?
going to tutor for anyway. So
I think you misunderstand how much I need an island. I
Let's do a quick deck check. So there are 5 swamps and 4 islands. So there was a chance.
still need a turn.
it's not great.
7, 8, 9. Well, no, probably
I
not.
might be
but
able to.
2 turn. I think 2 turns is reasonable.
I'd definitely be firing off all my spells this turn.
Yeah, just get
Brainstorm is a
get it done.
great place to start.
Trigger.
So we get to surveil first.
Salvo sequence into the bin.
Yeah.
Then resolve brainstorm.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Ed's not playing any board wipes. Like, what's the way of Ed even? Is there a possible win for Ed here?
So if he could
Actually draw them.
somehow mill Ceres' emissary to his bin, we could just reanimate it, name creature, laugh at all these creatures that can't deal any damage anymore. I think I saw a back to basics there, so if Grace can play 1 more spell,
Yeah.
we could have milled the back to basics, and I believe that would have been lethal.
Good trigger.
Oh, actually, we just get to draw and discard the back to basics off this Malcolm.
You're 1 off currently for delirium.
Yes. So you're taking 5.
3.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh yeah, 3. Yes, sorry. I draw. Then I will discard this mental misstep. Malcolm's up to 3 chorus counters. Say go.
Would you be interested in a concede?
Pardon?
To what extent would you accept my concession?
Show and tell.
Right, show and tell would have been sweet.
Shenanigans to get
Earth
this.
is this.
Fucking horrible artwork.
Show and tell, delve spell, Archon. Yeah,
Show and tell, put in Archon.
it's
Make you sack a creature, discard a card.
it's a pretty nice hand.
Oh, that one. Okay. Sorry, I had to
Shame
fix
about
this.
all those
well,
mountains that you've decided to put in your deck, Ed.
No, 'cause I
Yeah,
like a spell.
interesting deck choice there.
Yep.
Not the way I'd go.
Yeah, well, we're here to offer advice, and Ed, in future, I would suggest taking out the mountains, putting in some other lands that might help you actually cast your spells.
Yeah,
the real difficulty was.
and that shows me for saying Blood Moon won't do anything in this matchup.
Yeah, that's true. It got the win. All right, and on that note, thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.